All right, g'day. This morning, Danny and I are dividing and conquering. He's going to take some hay down to find his keepers to keep the new cattle staying around there, which is great because now they're learning that water point. And it eases the pressure off some of our other water points, like Sweetwater. So Danny's going to take some hay down there, drop it off so that they get a bit of a feed. He's also going to empty the trough so there's a fresh smell. And I'm going to fly up to the top end of the station and check out a couple of water points that are of a bit of concern. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slip over and put Danny's beer in the cool room, which I fixed up the other day. Are you happy with that? Well, it's just really awkward if it does fall off. Let's whack another one on. Good for you to throw. So I've done the shuffle around with the planes to bring out the Savannah. One, just to give it a run, but two, I'm doing a couple of short fields. I'm not quite confident enough with Venturas to pull her in on those shorter strips, but I am with a Savannah. So might not be as comfortable, doesn't have the autopilot, but those winds should be pretty fine to deal with. So I'm going to be able to load up the gear that I need, get out to these sites, and it's still much quicker than driving.
Right, I'm not sure if this microphone's working. We're going to give it a go. And yeah, so we've just started priming up. I'm in the Savannah. I'm going to fly up to freshwater first. And yeah, let's see if it's going to play the game and record our audio today. Flip up! A little bit of choke for some reason. Okay, there we go. We've started. You can't really see much from back there. I'm going to start my taxi down. Well, actually, I'm good. Let's just wait for our pressure to become good, get my instruments true and correct. We've got an easterly of around 7 to 8 knots, so it won't take much to get off the ground at all. I'm just going to bring up to 3,000. Left Maggie. Rumble good. Right Maggie. Rumble good. Right, we're back. Both back on. Fuel's on. Radio's good. Radio is on UHF. And my vents are fully open. Let's get some air. Alright. Okay, so on the off chance that the DJI isn't working, I'm using my phone to do this little bit of recording, and I'll just copy it across because I know that the USB microphone input works there. So I'm flying along here, and I'm on my way up to the water point Freshwater, which is our northwestern bore. Sorry, small bump. Which is our northwestern bore. Now, I'm heading up there because it appears that the pump isn't operating as well as it should be, or at all, and I've loaded up with a couple of things. One being a new impeller, so I can put that in, which is the, sorry, not impeller, the rotor stator, which is a little screw pump, and I've also grabbed, just in case, a spare pressure switch. I'm flying the Savannah because I prefer it for the short field stuff. As you can tell, it's a lot bumpier than the Venturas because it's not quite as dense in the wing and not as long or high. It's got a different angle. So I also don't have autopilot in it. So I'm just going to be the one on the stick. So this is also a good opportunity to have a little bit of a look at the water that's around. The other day I did do a fly around and had a look at the water. but this will also give us a good impression of if we've got any feral animals and where our pressure points are going to be. So I've got the camera out on the side there, and at the moment I'm having a good look at a bit of the country, some spinifex country that's been burnt the last couple of years, and yeah, everything seems quite good at the moment. It's going to hit a top of 43, 44 degrees today with a reasonable amount of humidity, so I want to get myself home before it gets too hot and sticky. So, yeah, that's about it. I will take video of anything that's interesting, but we've got the wing footage, which is okay, and I'll switch it over to the tail plane for the next leg and steps of the flight. Rightio. Yeah, so not a terrible landing there. That was quite nice. I'm really glad that a few months ago and I opened this airstrip back up to make it nicer for me on these types of days where it's hotter and a little bit more entertaining. But no, she came in nicely. I approached there at around 47 knots, and yeah, I'm on the deck now, and let's go find out what's going wrong with this bore.
All right, I left my broad brim hat at home. Hopefully, I'm not out in the sun for too long. So I've got my little box of tricks, in which I've got a rotor stator, a new pressure switch, and a few other little bits and bobs, and the tools that I need. So could quite simply be corrosion on the pressure switch. That's happened a few times, but yeah, we'll see what we're dealing with over here. It's 280 meters from the airstrip over here. If we'd had a little bit more time, I would have been able to lighten it up a bit and make it so you can taxi the whole way, but then Dad'd be tempted to land just right on top of the bore. So would I. All right, so not anything as simple as that. Even worse is it's been chewed, and I think it's been chewed by the cows. So I'm going to see if I can do any patching and twitching, fire it up, and we will see how we go. All right, I didn't realise I was recording that, and I'm not sure what you even saw. So I just did a quick twitch up on all the lines, flicked it back on, and we're away. So we're good. We're going to have to come out and put some more conduit over all these lines just to help prevent animals from getting in amongst it. For now, I'm going to drag some sticks over to stop them getting so close. Easy done. All right, let's fly. Flip up.
Okay, it's certainly getting toasty. There's just a little bit of a rumble start just there. But I've got the camera up on the tail there now, so let's see how we go. I've got a nice amount of wind on the nose. I'm just waiting for my temperatures to come good before I open. And I just let a bit of fuel pump through the engine and carbies just make sure I don't have any vapor loss or anything, because on these short fields it's really not fun to sort of be halfway down the strip and then have it sort of splutter and cough, especially in these warmer temperatures. Okay, so my fuel is on my right side, which is where my overflow is, so when I've got my pump on, it's likely to pump extra fuel over there. Short hop now, 5 to 8 minutes, just over to Bloodwood. Alright, let's go.
Well, that wasn't the most fun of landings. Yeah, it kept on gusting and not picking my wind right. But that's, temperatures and fun of it. Got on the deck, so I'm on my way over to the water point, and all I need to do here is put a one-way valve, which means that the water can only travel in one direction, on one of the diaphragm pumps so that they don't fight against each other. So just going to slip over there and put a bit of thread tape on this, pop it on, turn it on, and see what our water levels are doing here. With the rain, it spread the cattle out a bit, but what we want to make sure is that we've got this tank as full as we can so that it stays ahead of the mob. And the water, like there wasn't as much rain at the north end of the station here as elsewhere. So there is still going to be that potential pressure of camels and just these hot days coming up. So, time to crack on to it. Alright, so I made a mistake when I left earlier. I didn't double check to make sure that this had the O-ring and cup seal in it. Now, some of them do, some of them don't have it. It was like a limited batch that actually were separate. And it looks like this one's missing it. But fortunately, the tank is chock as full. The tank is chock as full. So there's plenty of water there and I don't need to turn this third pump on. But what I'm going to do is rig it in anyway with a one-way valve. And yeah, rig it in with a one-way valve anyway, and make sure that we bring the O-ring up on the next time we come here. So then we can turn on that extra pump. Alright, so we've got our one-way valve in. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so there's water getting pushed through here at pressure, and it's also pressurizing this section here. This valve will not allow water out of it unless there's water coming in from this direction that'll overcome the valve pressure. Like that. So when the other pump is pushing water in, it'll be okay, but if it's not pushing any water, say if it's only running at a 12-hour cycle, it won't allow us to lose water. Oh, that's warm. Probably because of that. And that's what happens when you don't have that O-ring. So, I'm going to disconnect it. And shut it down. Pretty happy with those two up and running again. Or not even up and running again. Bloodwood's full. And freshwater was an easy fix. So let's see how this wind treats me. Time to get off the ground.
So the stabilisation's probably working too well on the GoPro there, but it is it's quite bumpy now. I'm getting thrown around just a touch. So yeah, it is warming up. It's 11:30 in the morning. Now, tossing up. If I go and check out our easternmost 4 Pixie, I know it's not been functioning as it should be, and the chances are that that's been chewed as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle over a water point that has Wi-Fi, log onto the network and check if I've got any messages, if there's anything I need to go fix and sort out. And if I need to make a phone call, I'll just land there at Bullock and yeah, jump on the phone for a few minutes. So let's have a look at Tunel as we go along and get over Bullock. It's going to be about 4.5 minutes. Okay, so I couldn't pick up the Wi-Fi while I was circling Bullock, so I just landed, checked my messages, and there was nothing else coming through, so I'm just on my way out to Pixie, and I'll see how I go with landing out there, and yeah, we'll see what's going on. Alrighty. Okay, I'm hoping that came through okay, but had those camels there. Just going to show that they are still out and about everywhere. They're a little bit off the track, but it's just not worth going and chasing them. But you know, they've got a lot of legs behind them at the moment because they're getting a good feed and good amount of drink. But there are still camels out here, and they are still a problem. And so far, there's been no word from the official departments on providing any assistance, even though we have reached out again and again. And they are well aware of the numbers that we have been getting, but they animal welfare doesn't count for camels apparently. It's a free goal if the camels are out in the desert and they perish, because it means that they haven't had to spend any money. And us shooting them, well, they don't have to pay for it. Alright, I'm going to keep going on.
Well, I could have done better on that landing. Would have been nicer to have been, yeah, just on the ground a little bit quicker, but got here in the run, got here in the end. Right, let's have a look at why we aren't pumping here. I can see some cables dangling down. There we go, a quick twitch up and she's underway again. So this is another one where we're going to have to do a little bit more improvement on the conduit protection. What I'm going to do, because the tank level sensor has been chewed, I'm going to wind the speed right down.
Alright, so I'm on my way back home now. It's going to take me about 23 minutes to get back home, and I've got the camera out in the tail there. So, yeah, after this, I'm just going home for lunch and work out a little bit of a plan for tomorrow's little tasks. We got most of the things achieved that we needed to today, and then we're going to be on to some fabrication work. So, yeah, not a bad day so far. If you've enjoyed it, enjoyed the camera angles and all that sort of good stuff, let me know in the comments below and give us a thumbs up. It's, yeah, just learning and trying out different kit to get the cameras working and the microphones working as well for in the aeroplane. But hopefully it's been a little bit better today than my last couple of attempts, which haven't even, they've not made it to YouTube because I wasn't happy with them. So yeah, we'll see how we go, see how the flying content goes, and what you guys like, and your suggestions, and yeah, input. All right, well, enjoy the scenery and the nice calm music, and I will see you when I land.
Back on the ground, time to go grab some lunch, and yeah, dodge a little bit of the heat for a while. So, thanks for joining me today, and on that little bit of a fly, and yeah, just tackling a couple of those jobs. Danny's home, so I think he had a good time. All right, like and subscribe, all that sort of stuff. We're doing pretty well at the moment. 48,000 odd subscribers, which is yeah, incredible. And we're just gonna now we've really got to keep our standard up. We don't make a lot off YouTube, actually. JH and I were talking about it earlier today, and how I get less than a third of what he gets in terms of revenue from YouTube, because we have content that involves shooting. So yeah, we can't afford some of the things people are requesting us to buy, or things like put a cameraman on and get a dedicated team. our business isn't YouTube, it's running a station and sharing it with you. So, thanks for everyone that is a supporter and a member. It does help, and everyone that's bought us a coffee. It does help put together a bit of the cash to be able to purchase some of the new cameras and equipment that we use. And a beer every now and then. To say we're covering costs is, not really a accurate statement. All right, we will see you in the next one. Cheers.